How's it going, guys? In this video we're going to be talking about variables, specifically to Python. If you don't know what a variable is, I have a little definition up here. They're just containers for storing data that can be referenced and or modified at a later time in your program. In Python, variables are created the moment you assign them a value. So lines 9, 10, and 11, I have an example of 3 different types of variables. So the first one is a string. I have a variable named car color with the value of red. So if I was to print the value of red, I would get the string red. Age is an integer, and it's an integer because I'm assigning an integer value. And pi is a float, and it's a float because I'm assigning it a decimal number. In Python, you can also assign a value to multiple variables at the same time. So for instance, a equals b equals c equals 10. What this line is doing is it's setting the value 10 to a, b, and c. So if I was to run this program, let me just comment that out. So let's see, Python variables.py. You can see that I got 3 outputs, 10, 10, 10, and that's these 3 lines here. So just printing a, b, and c, they all have the value of 10. All right, moving on to naming. So there are rules to naming variables in Python. The main thing you can't do in Python is name a variable with starting with a digit. So if I try to run this with the variable starting with a 0, Python is going to complain about this variable name. It doesn't like it. So I'm going to leave this here with an example as a bad name. Here's a few examples of good names. Your variables can start with letters, or they can start with an underscore. All right, so let's use what we've learned so far. I just have a little comment here that says declare a variable named foo, give it the value of bar, and print it out. Or how about we just say, all right, so on line 34, I have the variable named foo, and it has the value of bar. And 35, we're going to print out this value. Oops. So I'm going to say foo equals, and then I'm going to add in the value of foo. So if I run this, I see foo equals bar, and that's this line here. All right, Python does have types, but types are assigned based on the value. So for instance, if I have this line, username equals Joe, Python is going to look at this line, see that this is a string. So when it creates username, it's going to create username as a string type. So we can prove that by calling type, passing in a variable named username, and then I'm just going to print out the value of that. So we can see that the type of username is a string. Same thing goes for any other types. So age is assigned the integer value of 10. So when Python reads this line, it's going to say, age, you are an object, and more specifically, you are an integer object. All right, and the last topic we're going to cover is reserved keywords. These are all names that can't be used for variables, function names, or classes because they have a specific meaning in Python. So here's a little instruction that you can type in your Python class or interpreter, and you're going to get a list of all of the keywords that exist in your version of Python. So if I run this, here is all of the reserved keywords that exist in this version of Python, which means I can't use any of these keywords to name my variables, my functions, or my classes. So again, you can run this in your version of Python. Each version of Python may or may not be the same list. So if you want to double check that, you can just run this line. All right, so that sums up this video. If you have any questions or comments, check or put them in the comment section below. And I will catch you guys next time.